Why do different food molecules provide different amounts of energy for our bodies? This is a review of the pages 57 through 63 in your workbook. So why do we eat food? Well, food provides energy for our body's cells. Carbohydrates, proteins, and fats are considered food, and they have unique roles in our body. Carbohydrates, proteins, and fats have different properties, however, meaning different characteristics. So why is this? Remember when we used snap cubes in 7th grade, and we had each cube represent an atom? And then we put those cubes together to represent molecules? Well, proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, molecules, are different. They could be different for many reasons. First, the atoms that make up these molecules may be different. Or they may be made of a different amount of atoms. Or the atoms that make up the molecules could just be connected differently. Let's take a look closer at carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are made of carbon atoms, hydrogen, and oxygen. They are a quick source of energy for the body. Now, simple carbohydrates taste sweet and dissolve in water, and glucose is the subunit for carbohydrates. Lactose is a carb with 2 subunits found in milk. Carbohydrates of thousands of subunits are called starches. These are much more complex molecules. They do not dissolve in water. Without heat, they do not taste sweet. And some good examples of these complex molecules are rice and potatoes. Let's look closer at proteins. These are the building blocks of the body. Now, protein has a subunit called the amino acid, and they help build and repair body tissues. Proteins are found in meat, cheese, eggs, and nuts. And proteins are made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, just like carbohydrates, but they also might be made of nitrogen and sometimes sulfur. Let's take a look at fats. Fats are our energy powerhouses. The subunit of fats are called triglycerides. They provide more energy than carbohydrates and proteins. Fats have carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms too, but they have very few oxygen atoms compared to carbon and hydrogen atoms. Look at this chemical formula for a triglyceride molecule. Now, the roles of atoms in energy production are very important. The type, number, and arrangement of atoms determine the energy provided for the body. Fats have more carbon and hydrogen atoms and fewer oxygen atoms. This structure of fats allows fats to store more energy. When we look at simple versus complex molecules, it's important to keep in mind that simple molecules like glucose provide a quick source of energy, but the complex molecules like starch will provide sustained energy, meaning energy that will last longer. Proteins and fats are more complex than simple sugars and are used as building materials for our body. So why are we talking about carbohydrates and proteins and fats and energy? Because it's so important that we keep a well-balanced diet. Each nutrient plays a unique role in our health, and eating a variety of foods will ensure proper nutrition.